Guess we're live.
Cool.
Hi, everybody. We'll try this again, huh? Hit copy this link. Let's hit that. Where's the chat? I am ready to throw this shit out of here. Chat, studio chat. Don't need the studio chat. Need the
Talk to
live
us,
stream.
people.
Need the live stream chat. Are we live?
It says 45 seconds recording at the top there.
Yeah.
Unless you're just recording it.
Let me take a look. Okay, there's nobody watching live right now. So maybe we didn't go live. Let me hit stop, I guess. It does take a while though sometimes. Okay, somebody's here now.
They're here.
Okay, is Taint echoing again, guys?
What do you think, guys?
I know he sounds, oh God.
Echoing?
Okay, let's bring Uli in here. It says Taint sounds better.
What the hell does that mean?
I'm going to send. Okay, they're going to hit, they're going to send this thing to see if Uli will join us. Oh my God. Oh my God. We need a producer already. We can't afford a producer. We can't do that. We can't afford one of these yet.
Maybe we can find one that'll do it just for free with us.
All right, let's see. Let's try this. Let's see if Uli's going to join us, hopefully.
Maybe Uli's the producer.
It,
Producer Uli.
It seems like he knows what he's doing. He's good. Sounds special, though. Okay. We're going to get Uli to join us here in a second and see if that works.
You guys keep your meanness to yourself.
Yeah, now you were sounding so good earlier. Now it sounds to me like you're a mile away, but.
Well, I'm wearing my headphones now, so it's going to sound like shit.
Oh, okay.
Because there's a microphone on these things.
It says, honestly, you guys are good. You think? Uli, join us if you can, man. Let's see how his goes. Okay, here's Uli. Here, let's see here.
Hey.
Well, you sound
really buddy.
There
you sound really good. Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
did somebody call me special moments ago? Because they're not wrong.
I think so. Now you sound really good. Okay, so people, is he echoing? Help us out. Someone says Facebook is good. Okay.
It's me. I'm trying not to echo. 1, 2, 1, 2. We'll find a producer to do the do.
That's you. You're producer Uli.
Oh shit, man! You don't want me producing nothing.
Yeah, to me. Oh God, we none of us are made for that. He sounds.
You're
great.
in the frame correctly. You get the job.
It says all three of us sound good now. Okay, let's act like none of this happened.
It's our first time here.
I'm gonna hit a start. And I'm gonna ask that same question. Okay. We're gonna act like, just in case, we want to edit this thing and put it on something. Here comes the start of the show, guys.
Let's go.
What is the type of person you've always wanted to be?
Taint, you got to take this one first.
Taint, you answered. How did you answer it last time?
The kind of person that when they're under pressure, they can realize it in the moment, like in a high stress environment, and kind of take that breath and push through instead of hyperventilating like I sometimes do.
Nice.
I'm not proud to admit it. Sometimes it's just like your pulse is going way too fast for this problem. That is not that hard.
I understand that. What about you, Uli?
Well, I've always wanted to be the kind of person that, like, when I leave the party, the get together, whatever it is, even a funeral, I just want folks to be like, man, that is one funny motherfucker. Like, he made everybody feel better about themselves because I just think we're being, like I said, authentic in this moment, man. We're having a great time. And if we can't laugh at ourselves, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, I've got the weird thing. I want to go back to the person I used to be.
Ooh.
What era?
I'm gonna say anywhere from 15 to 35.
All right.
Yeah,
Not bad, not bad.
I had a nice run. I had a nice run for a
God,
while.
you make it sound like we're both fucking 1 foot in the urn right now,
No,
right?
no, what I'm kidding. It's like this
He
was
feels his body giving out on him.
no, well, there's that. I mean, I got this new house right now that's absolutely ridiculous. You know, walking down the stairs in the morning to the studio, I go 2 feet at a time. You know,
Oh no, dude, I'm doing the same thing. I'm like, is this the time when our knee has finally given out?
Yeah.
Are we there?
yeah, my knees don't work first thing in the morning real well. Later on during the show, I could run upstairs and down real fast, but and it's dark and I don't want to wake anybody up. So I'm going down these stairs where I could barely, I'm counting them. There's one. I got 8 stairs that I have to go, then a landing, then another 8 stairs.
Brother, I hear you. Like I fantasize about hydraulic fluid getting pumped into my knee.
Yeah, it's just horrible.
That's so good.
So, but when I was that time of my life, I was just fearless, and I
15
didn't.
to 30.
I didn't have anything that I had nothing to prove to anybody. I was just doing what I loved, just 100%. That's all I cared about. I didn't care about girls. Even though I was still dating and everything else, I didn't care about that. And then you get married, you get a mortgage, you get a little success behind you, and you start changing your who you are. That fear that it starts to creep in, and it kind of sucks. And I've been trying so hard to get back to that. I know you would appreciate this tape because you've talked to the guy many times. And Willie, have you ever met Jarrett, the singer from Bowling for Soup?
I have not.
Jarrett's a great guy, and
I love that guy.
he's a good friend of ours. And he and I have talked about this many times about trying to get that magic back when you were like younger
Yeah.
and all that kind of crap.
When
And
you had potential.
yes, and another guy that I talked to.
I remember the first time I saw an automobile. I had to have one.
What movie are you quoting? Because I know you're quoting the
No,
movie, man.
No, we were just thinking of Terry's life moments. And then I saw a Zeppelin crash. He's like a vampire. He's been alive for thousands of years.
Then they landed on the moon.
And then the moon landing.
Listen. I saw the moon landing.
Okay, we got too far.
Yeah, we've got.
Yeah,
got
no, seriously, I'm back. We're back, babies.
Okay, we're back. Anyway, today
Wait.
we do. What's that? Go ahead, Tate.
I was gonna say, when that time of your life from 15 to 30, you came from your life. You didn't have any like support to fall back on. But I think a lot of people support, like they approach that same time in their life because they know if they mess up, like in Hollywood or trying to be whoever they want, they could go back to Poughkeepsie or whatever.
Yes.
Do you think that there's like 2 ways of like being influenced to get where you want to go?
I think there's many ways to get where you want to be. I don't think you're ever going to put lightning back in a bottle or anything like that. Part of the reason why I wanted to do this late night radio show is because that's what I was doing when I felt the most excited about life. I didn't have program directors messing with me. I didn't have anything. It was just nobody cared about the late night shift. Nobody cared at all. I mean, there was no money in it. There was nothing, but it was just so much fun. And that's why I wanted to do this originally, but to try to get that bite back in me.
Did you guys
Right.
Did you guys remember in Taint? Sorry if you're too young for this. I'm old as fuck, but there was Coast to Coast with Art Bell. And
Oh, yeah.
Back in '95, I was hauling tomatoes up and down I-5 from like Bakersfield to Woodland and all that shit. And that's what you would listen to is Art Bell late at night. And that motherfucker had like east of the Rockies, you call this number, west of the Rockies, you call that number. And it's like he would have the wildest shit on there. And he was like, tonight we're taking alien calls only. And they would call in and they would have this amazing backstory, right? And then they would fuck it all up. They're like, yeah, I'm from the Zoltar region. Well, then why are you here? They'd be like, to get Windows 95. Like they'd have some stupid thing that fucks it all up, right? But I loved that, man. I was either listening to Dodger games or listening to Art Bell, man. I love this concept, and
Yeah.
I'm grateful to be here.
Yeah, the late night stuff was just so fun. And I talked a little bit about that when I first started, but it wasn't necessarily all about that type of stuff. It was about taking chances of trying to do some comedic things.
Yeah.
It was all about connecting with an audience. And that's what's so cool about, and I know this format that we're using, this Riverside thing, once you figure this stuff out, it's growing and growing, and there's going to be a way to take live phone calls from people with the app. For those of you that eventually download that Riverside FM app, because it's a way to connect with us, and I love that type of connection, and that's one of the things I like. But it's all I was focused on was doing this, and this was my love, and so much so that I think I told
And your penis.
exactly the person that hired me for my first radio job. Her name was Deirdre. Deirdre Gentry was her name, and she was hot. I mean,
I feel like this is the beginning of a porn.
It-
I was
it
sent
could-
to fix the cable.
it could have been. She was older than me.
Hell yeah.
She was super, super hot, crazy blonde hair, dressed nasty, but she was the program director. And she hired me, and it was her last day, and I was working midnight to 6 a.m. And it was her last day, and she had a party with everybody at the radio station. But I was working at midnight that night, and she said to me, she goes, "I've got somebody to work for you tonight because I want to be with you." And I said, "Can I work?"
You wanted the work option?
I went back and I worked the midnight to 6 shift and said, "No, thanks."
You had your Mrs. Robinson moment right there.
And I had, but that's my point. It's like to be so passionate about something.
Yeah.
And
I respect
I've had,
that.
and most of my friends have never felt that, and it confuses me. I know you guys have felt that, to be
Oh,
so
yeah,
passionate
absolutely.
about something that it's all you think about.
Man, I got this opportunity to be on radio, and I'm retired from the fire service, as we talked about before. This is not a moneymaker, man. Like, I am so stoked to be there every day and so grateful to the 102 people for hiring me. But the whole thing is, yeah, because I'm passionate about it, man. My podcast hobby has cost me way more than it should.
Oh yeah. Oh God. Yes, absolutely. 100%.
How long have you been on the air now?
June will be 1 year on Q102.
I watched your Instagram hits from around town. I watched you guys out. You kick ass, dude. You make me want to go out there.
We have a lot of fun, man. Like I said, I'm grateful to that entire team. They're very passionate about local radio, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
one of the reasons that brought me in. Had a podcast for years and years, still do. But man, you guys also inspired me too, man. Back in the day when Bergman was the PD and everything, and CeeLou and all them, like I wanted to do this. And we joke around about like Face for Radio stuff, but I've always felt way more connected to Casey Kasem telling me about them long distance dedications to all that shit.
No, there's magic in it. And that's what I'm trying to bring back into my life. I know it's not going to be like it used to be. I'm not stupid,
Right.
but I'm hoping for a different kind of magic.
I've got something I want you to bring in your life now.
Okay.
You just moved into a new house, all right?
Uh-huh.
Congratulations. You have a little more space. You got an actual physical residence is badass. You can have some tools,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Your wife has this really cool bed that she can't get around the corner and up a flight of stairs, correct?
Yes.
Now, I heard you were going to bring somebody else in to just saw this son of a bitch in half. This is your destiny, man.
Okay. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to take this camera off. You see this wood floor? You see that?
Beautiful wood floor.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Brand new, beautiful walnut, I guess it is.
Sure.
That's what the headboard looks like. And it's really tall. It's like these slats, and it's really tall, and the base is solid. And Sherry loves this bed more than life
Cut it,
itself.
Terry. You could do this.
And they couldn't get it up the stairs because I live in a 3-story thing and a rooftop deck, and they couldn't get it around the stairs. So we brought a friend of ours in who knows a little bit about wood stuff, and Sherry's asked him, can you cut this and then reassemble it upstairs? So that's
This
where we
is
stand.
you.
I am not doing, dude.
This is
I
you
couldn't
are a
even get-
homeowner now.
I
You're a
couldn't even,
homeowner.
I couldn't even get your echo to stop. Jesus Christ. And I've been in this business forever. You think I'm going to do something like that?
Terry, I've got good
We could-
news. I'm a woodworker.
Are you?
Yeah.
Come on.
Like, fly your ass out here.
Yeah, I will seriously. Give me any excuse to come out there. We're gonna build a stockade style thing where you put your arms through and just your head, and then it comes down, and Sherry does what she has to do to you.
Willie, you can tell him. If he can make a halfway decent cut, he can hide it with a little piece of walnut trim, and have that thing
Well,
back in the bedroom.
a guy
but
came
he's
in
gonna
and-
know structurally it's not gonna be good.
Yeah, a guy came in and who knows a lot about this stuff and said we could do this and bolt it up here and then reattach it, and it's gonna, just anything. Because right now I am sleeping on a really bad mattress that we've had for it seems like 100 years on the floor.
Oh,
And
that's some
every
college
morning
year
when I
shit right
get-
there.
Yeah, and every morning when I get up, I got to push myself up. Jesus Christ.
The morning
It
moan,
is
man.
nice
I
to
hear you.
jump
I
in.
hear you.
You know it's nice to jump into it though, because it's low.
Yeah. Yeah, well,
I got a quick question for Tank. Last time the three of us got to hang out, there was a lot of overt audio sexual activity going on in the room next door. And tonight it sounds very calm. Have you worked it out with your neighbors or whatever hotel you're in?
Um,
All I know is you're filming a porn somewhere in Ottawa or something.
I was in
The Keys.
Ottawa.
oh no, you were in.
No.
Okay.
Poughkeepsie.
I was in Keys, but I was in a much more like pseudo happening place with like one of those little tiki huts. I was trying to remember the name, and I think that it was like people getting ready to fuck with the pineapples on their doors and all that stuff. And was
Oh,
going on.
Swingtown.
Yeah, I'm in more of like a courtyard Marriott now, so there's less fuck vibe here. Now.
Oh boy, they're really treating you right.
You
I
know,
like this place. I like it to be less cheesy.
Courtyard Marriott is known for the fuck vibe. I mean, that's almost in their marketing, right?
Yeah, a little bit of smut porn. Yeah, that's what they have.
All right. I was just wondering because last time I don't even know. Tane, I'm gonna be super honest with you, man. I don't even know what you do these days. You were surfing for a while. You're a new dad for now, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
That's
don't know
the
what you
main
do.
focus these days.
Are you a stunt man or what are you doing? Stunt cock? What do we got?
Well, I on Thursdays I'm still doing my Tank Thursdays on Lex and Terry.
Yeah, I catch that.
Where my bread's buttered, and also I am a composites technician, I guess. So I go around and like repair and upgrade these drones that sail in the ocean.
Yeah, they're like little sailing ships. And they look
Yep.
like little sailboats, but they're all drone operated. How tall are they? Like 4 or 6 feet? Something like that?
No, they're about like 16 feet long,
Really?
about 14 feet high.
Oh,
the
really?
ones there's a bunch of different classes, but yeah, so there's a whole bunch of them out there, and that ever so often they come in and get upgrades, and I go out and fix them.
Yeah.
So you're
Well,
like
that-
kind of a pirate.
Kind of a pirate, but I don't go out on the water. They just bring them into me. I'm like, bring them in. Let's go right here.
And
Oh,
Jimmy
that's
Buffett
good.
would be so proud.
And you've had that job for a long time.
I got let go from my main job at the beginning of the year, but it was kind of a mutual like, hey man, you should be doing this other thing.
No, it's good.
And
It's awesome.
Hey, things always work out for. I still believe that even when you get to be, older. I think that things kind of the universe.
I
kinda
needed the
shifts for you.
motivation.
Yeah.
I needed the motivation, and I really think that he knew that this would do it. I mean, I went out that day and got an LLC. I got a bank account, and all in one day of things that I've wanted to do for like 3 years,
Yeah.
All
That's
of
awesome.
just being fired.
That's good. Well, we are here. Hello to everybody who's on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, who's streaming live. We finally got some stuff up and running. It's gonna always be this way, I think,
It's the beauty of live radio, baby.
for the way it is. We have got a little bit later on. We have got a great email from a 16-year-old kid who I think that we may be able to help this cat out. He said he started listening to us and following us on Twitch, and he thinks I'll get to that email here in a minute. But first,
I love it.
I wanted to bring you something that I found this absolutely hilarious. I was going down, I'm surfing on, Instagram, and I see these rings that this guy's wearing, and that it's a store. And so I started to do further research because I'm not Mr. Jewelry guy, but I went, you know what, if I was ever going to have a ring, this would kind of looks kind of cool. You know, these different kind of cool things.
Are you a pinky ring man?
No, hell no.
Okay.
No, I will not pinky ring it at all. And I would probably feel weird I'd probably buy one of these rings and then never wear it. But it's called Lost Amigo, is what the company is called. And I started to do a little research on these people. And I want to read to you what it says about them. Lost Amigo was founded by a husband and wife duo named Zephyr and Soul. Okay.
No.
I am so in. I am so in.
Their name is Zephyr and Soul, inspired by a chance encounter and a passion for craftsmanship. Then it says 15 years ago, while wandering through a rural village in northeastern Thailand, Zephyr met a mysterious old merchant who gifted him the intrinsic. Anyway, I can't even say it.
Intricately?
Yeah, thank you. Carved ring, insisting that it would guide and protect him on his journey. Years later, Zephyr met Soul while working on a pear farm in Australia.
What the fuck?
Where's the kind of story? Is
This sounds like the Lovas on SNL.
And then it does sound like an SNL.
Yes, it does.
And then it says, and the ring became a symbol of their love. After losing it while surfing in Morocco,
Of course.
the couple found themselves in Bali, where they learned the ancient art of ring making from local silversmiths. Now, name drop, I've been to Bali and they do have a lot of silversmiths there. So I kind of believe this part. It says together, they recreated the lost ring, and soon others took notice of their unique craftsmanship, combining timeless techniques and recycled silver. Each piece they create, hand carved with love and care, designed to last for generations.
This sounds like some gluten-free bullshit.
I know. I
Yeah.
saw this, and it's like I went from wanting this ring to wanting to kill them.
Oh my god.
I want to find them. I want to make them pay for what they've done.
That's like when you look up a food recipe and they can't just give you the fucking recipe. They're like, well, my family was organic cranberry farmers. You're like, all right.
Yeah.
You know, and it's weird because anybody who appreciates storytelling, it has to be us because we are in the business of that.
That's a pretty good story. It just makes me hate the people involved in it.
Exactly. It's like, who are you working at a pair? Have you ever had a real job? And part of me is, maybe I'm jealous of that, even though I've never really had a real job. I've had 2 real jobs in my life, and they weren't even that.
Does it remind you of Jay Peterman from Seinfeld? There I was, Elaine. In
Yes.
Myanmar, you might call it Burma, right?
In fact, my first acting scene in the soap opera Santa Barbara was with Jay Peterman.
Wait a minute. I know you were a radio host in Santa Barbara because I grew up in Santa Barbara on K-Tide.
Yes.
But you were also on the soap opera
I was on
Santa
the soap
Barbara?
opera. I was Chad on the soap opera Santa Barbara, but it was a non-contracted role. I wasn't it wasn't a regular role. It
I'm
was
gonna
a
need some private time alone for a minute, guys. I'm gonna have to, now that I know Terry was a soap opera actor.
I'm gonna play.
Why don't you always get introed as Chad from Santa Barbara?
Yeah, no
Please.
shit.
That's ridiculous.
I know. That's what makes it so great.
That's just stupid.
It also kind of sounds like what you just described. Also sounds like they typed a bunch of shit into Chat GPT to
It
make
really
it
does.
happen. Like it's like, and then
It's
Terry
too perfect.
James lived in Seattle where he was conquering the Pike's Place fish market. Like
Yes.
it's like, all right, dude.
Zephyr and whatever her name is. Soul.
First of all, I also fucking love the
Soul.
name Zephyr. I want to be named Zephyr, and I've got a weird name. I'd take a Zephyr in a minute.
I love your name. You're named
Yeah.
after a sausage.
Yeah. So, okay. So you get this. Okay. Because you're in Seattle, obviously. I tell people all the time, I have a running joke out here that's actually my business. I'm just out here for taxes. I have a famous sausage place in Pike's Place Market.
You're hiding out from all that sausage tax money.
Dude, everyone knows the sausage tax has always been high, man.
It's too high.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to get this. I'm going to see if this plays for you guys. on
I can't wait.
Bluetooth for it, and you'll be able to hear
Is
my
this fucking
first scene.
Zephyr.
This is my first scene on Santa Barbara, but I've got to find.
Shit.
I've-
Boner alert. Boner alert.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I gotta find
Chad
it.
from Santa Barbara.
But
Chad.
you'll hear his. Where the hell is all my?
It's Terry James's Chad, as
Hold
you've
on,
never
I don't-
seen him.
I'm gonna find this. Hold on a second, guys.
The
Hold on a
year
minute.
was 1989.
You all. Okay, hold on.
He's in a Chrysler Cordoba with fine Corinthian leather.
Where the hell is it, guys?
Chad, where you been all day?
Oh my God.
Oh, you guys, listen. I'm not gonna do this if you're gonna make fun of me.
100%. We make
Wait,
fun
I
of
thought
each other.
why
I
we
thought
were
that's
gonna
what
do
we
it.
were doing. Like,
Yeah. Like, don't play it if we can't make fun of you.
do you want me to endorse this seriously?
Hold on a minute. I'm gonna find this for you guys.
I'm a
I
guy with a
already screen
mustache
capped-
comb. You can't take me seriously.
Yeah, and I already screen captured the picture that you shared of you and your astronaut, your embarrassing
did you really?
astronaut costume.
Did
Yeah, I
you-
got
is
that
this-
so I can
is this
put that
gonna
on
come
a
back
mug.
to haunt me?
Yeah.
By the way, those of you in the chat room, we will be going to you here in just a little bit, but I've got to find. Tell me if you could hear this at least. Tell me, because I'm not going to waste my time.
Seriously, I've got such a fear boner right now.
Okay, it doesn't sound like you're going to be able to hear.
Forget Harvard.
Oh, you can.
You
Can
can
you-
still manage other people's capital without an Ivy League degree. The prop firm model.
Can you hear
There's
that?
this thread that runs through, like whether
Hold
it's
on.
eastbound, down, vice principals, right?
Can you guys hear that?
That's Conan.
Yeah.
That's Conan
Oh,
O'Brien.
Okay, good. This is going to work. This is going to work, guys. Now I just have to find the video.
Call us a bunch of tech geniuses up in this hizzy.
Isn't it horrible when you have to Google your own name?
I don't do that. I've got a lot of bad reviews.
What's the worst thing that's ever been said? You know what? When somebody nails you online and it's funny, I will laugh. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
If the stuff that really hurts the most, though, is when they see through your crap and they call you out on something you know that you're not being authentic about, and they got you.
Yeah.
Oh God, is that painful? That
I've had-
hurts for me.
I was actually going to ask you guys when we had open forum or whatever, for the first time, because I've never done any of this stuff really publicly, and there's somebody like making big effort to troll and drag down on social media, and
You?
yeah, and
Who
it's
Trying to drag you down?
oh yeah, it's a whole thing, and we can
A
get into it
local
at some
person?
point. Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
well, let's get into that
In
in
your
one
local
second.
town.
Hey,
Man,
the
that
co-host
sucks,
of the Lex
man.
and Terry radio
Hold-
show.
hold
on a second. We are
here.
heard in 20 different. Okay, hold on. All right, here it comes. I'm trying
They're
to.
getting audio potpourri, aren't they?
Okay, here we go. Hold on. There's me on the news, the local news. This is me with Mary Bear. You would love her, don't you? See?
In Clearwater have busted a man for impersonating the guitarist in the group Creed in New York City.
That's what I was doing. The 10 o'clock news.
is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
Sounds so formal, sir.
I know. Isn't it sad?
The 10 o'clock news.
The arsonist was denied a bank loan.
What the hell is it, guys? Keep talking. You guys.
No, all I'm saying is, so Tank might
Yeah.
appreciate this too, because you guys are both national figures, right? I'm sure you have as many people that love you, but there's always just going to be the trolls. And I have a local troll because he's dating my ex, and he has spent all this effort trying to get us in trouble and fired and shit. And it has been awful because I can't say anything. This is the first time I'm saying anything about it because I don't
Yeah.
ever want to give that energy. And Terry and I have talked about this, like, don't give energy to things that are going to fucking take it away from you, man. But it's so hard. Like, have you had to deal with that as well, Tank?
It's so weird in a local place, like something like that, where you're all so close knit that someone would go out of their way to do that.
Well, he's
No one
dating
that
my
you can
he's dating
easily-
my ex.
Yeah,
so-
that was the key thing. They're dating X. That should just tell everybody what. And at the end
Yeah,
of the
but-
day, those guys usually end up looking worse than you. You know,
I
no
think-
matter what
They-
they're trying to
They
do.
burn out.
I would have thought so. This happened back in January, and like up until 2 weeks ago, he was also like sending emails to our corporate parent company in Wisconsin.
Really?
Yeah, it was a whole thing, man. And I got to be super careful. I don't want to make sure I violate anything, but I never gave it 1 ounce of attention on air. I never gave it 1 ounce
You
of
don't.
attention on social media.
That's what they want.
But it was really hard. Yeah, that is exactly what they want, right? They want the attention.
Sometimes
And-
I will give it to them.
Yeah.
But in your case, this is different because It involves other people. It involves somebody who wants to throw you under the bus and knows a little bit about you. That type of
Ooh,
stuff.
we got someone in the.
It does. It looks like Nate wants.
Nate
to
has
come on.
entered the chat.
Let's see if Nate.
What up, Nate?
I don't know if that works. Okay, well here we go,
His,
guys.
he's
Here's
on
the
mute.
Santa Barbara. Okay, here's Santa Barbara.
I know you're going to start off.
Hold on.
Wow, bit of a tease.
Okay, this
Nate
is
is
another
muted.
show on Fox called Pure Insanity that I was on.
It's your discography all the way through. I'm here.
It really is. It's like, okay, here we go. Okay, here we go.
Hat around her. I'm actually signing this guy's photo.
Okay, this is
What's going on?
That's
Go
the
on,
news. That's the
you.
10 o'clock
Anyway,
news.
here we go.
Okay, here we go. This is it. This is my first appearance on. This is before they gave me a name. I was a reporter. There's the theme of Santa Barbara. There it is.
Sounds like you're unzipping your
Wait,
pants.
listen, do you plan to make another film soon?
I have my plans, but we'll see when the filmmakers watch this if they have any plans for me.
Now, there are rumors that Journeys is based on an actual incident that involved your family. Is that true?
Journeys is based on fiction. But if you want to know more about that, you should speak to Stephen Slade, who directed it
Here
and
it is. Here he is.
Mr. Slade, would you care to comment on that, please?
Well, Journeys is a rite of passage. It's about anything at all. It's about my life.
Okay, can I get you two together for a photo, please? Can we do that?
Sure.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Yeah, baby.
That's Jay Peterman.
Man,
Yes, that's Jay Peterman.
Oh,
Journeys is
Laney,
a
Laney,
life of
Lane.
passage.
That's awesome.
Lane.
And then we went and played golf later.
Yeah, cool guy.
He's a great guy, just a great guy. But that was a very embarrassing moment for me because I had never taken an acting class.
How long
And
were
that-
you on Santa Barbara?
I was the last maybe 2 years it was on. I was on, and like I said, I was never a contracted regular. I was, I was never a real member of the cast, but I was on probably 40, 50 times.
So they
Oh,
just
shit.
got to make sure you get under so many lines so they don't have to pay
Yeah,
you, right?
yeah, I did that. I just got paid by the line. Then I did well, and they gave
Wait,
me
you
a
said you
name.
got paid by the line?
Usually
Is that how that works? I just don't know that field.
5 and under. If you have 5 lines and under, it's you make a certain amount, and anything 5 and over is a featured, and every and I'd go from a lot of different things like that. It was weird.
That's wild, man. That's the stuff that regular people like me don't know about, right? Like I would have had no idea. I'm like, he has less than 10 lines, no health insurance for that asshole. Like, I don't know how it went.
And I had the best mullet in the business.
Oh,
Oh,
I
my
don't doubt
God.
that at all. I've seen early pictures of you and Lex back in the day. Those were you guys were not afraid to blow that shit out.
Well, that's what it was supposed to be, man.
Hell yeah, man. I'm not throwing shade. Like, that was respect.
Okay, I'm trying to find here. For those of you that are on
That
there,
mullet would have struck fear in the heart of a T-top Camaro. Look at that! Oh my
shit.
God!
that
Is
was
that
me
Richard
in the-
Marks?
That's me in the
That
soap
is
opera
Richard
days.
Marx.
Yeah. If
That's
Richard
me,
Marks
baby.
and John or Michael Bolton had a love child,
That is my press photo from the soap opera.
dude.
There you go.
Seriously, I'm not even into guys, and I'm half
Well, you
at
should.
attention.
You don't know what you're missing.
You look like Nick Cave.
Oh man, I love the Nick Cave stuff.
What's Nick
You
Cave?
do. You look.
He's
You
a
look like
musician.
early '90s Nick Cave.
Do you ever watch what's that show that's so awesome? The guys that cut each other with the old timey guys. What's that great show? Somebody help us out in the chat room.
They
Please.
cut each other.
Well,
I thought this was like an off version
with their
of Nick
beanies.
Cage.
They have the guy that was on that show.
You're gonna have to do better than that.
What is that show? It's a great show. It's one of my favorite shows.
The Irish show.
Yes. Where they're from Ireland and it's an old timey
They're
game.
from Ireland.
Oh, that's God damn it.
It's not. It's you
Peaky
son of a
Blinders?
bitch.
Peaky Blinders?
Yes,
There you
Peaky
go.
Blinders. You know
Thank
the
you,
song,
thank God,
the
thank God.
song, the theme song of Peaky Blinders is Nick Cave.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
anyway, wow, that got a long way for that, didn't we?
Shit.
God
Thank
dang.
I'm
thank
glad
God
we
our
got
producer's
there.
going to cut this out.
I'm damn sweating.
Well, we did it without Google, and that's a rare thing these days.
you know what? That
actually
should be
sitting
our
there
thing. We
thinking-
shouldn't use modern technology on this show.
We'll fix it in post.
Uh,
Right. I love it. I think, hey, here's the thing though. These are live conversations happening, and I'm super grateful for that because I think the 7 to, I don't know how many people are listening, but we can all relate to this shit, right? Like that's what makes it real.
I hope so. I hope so. But this is, we're having a good time. I'm glad to be back doing this. We don't know what this is going to become.
I have a
Do
question.
appreciate. Yes, sir.
Okay, so I was looking up
in the
man in the leisure suit.
in
Yes.
the leisure suit.
So I was looking up your stuff earlier because a bit of a creeper, kind of a fan, but it said hot dogs and high heels. Now I want to
Mhm.
know the genesis of that because I love both things
Yes.
independently.
Okay. Well, I wanted people to know in my bios on social media that I have very strong opinions about just a couple things: hot dogs
Okay.
and high heels,
I want to know them both.
and anything else political. I don't care what anything else. I am open for conversation, but you cannot budge me on a hot dog or a high heel. Hot dogs
I have the
only-
same thoughts. So
hot
let's
dogs,
go.
mustard, or mustard and onion. No ketchup. You can't have
Okay.
that. Okay. That's
Respect.
just my thing. And high heels, the higher the better.
I think, no,
And-
see, I disagree. 6
wh-
inches is too much.
And oh, you think so? Not me. And women should have to sleep in them.
Yes. Okay. So my friends know this out here, out in the middle of the country. I will
Well, you
literally.
can't even see them. You can't even see them.
I will fold like a cheap suit for a woman in either knee-high high heel boots or high heels.
But
I will
wha-
I am so weak for that shit.
but
And I
wha-
don't want to
wha-
wear them. I don't have a foot fetish. It's just so sexy.
No, it's weird. I don't have a foot fetish either. And people think I look at shoes and get turned on by them. No, if there's something confident about a woman that can walk in 'em.
Yes, yes, because it exudes that air of confidence, right? Like
Yeah.
she is going to be a powerful, sexy woman.
Oh,
Tane, I feel like
powerful all the way.
we just got real weird into the kink section.
No,
with
it's
you,
good.
man.
I'm
I
glad
just
you
grew,
brought
I
it
grew
up.
up with too many barefoot women in my life.
Well, you need to
Hippie
expand
chicks.
your life. You're
You're more of a top,
Rednecks,
more of a
But who-
Tom's of Maine guy, huh?
But Uli, what you're
Walmart feet.
Oh, dirty feet. So what do you mean by 6 inches is too much?
Yeah, because beyond that, it's performative, and it's less about
all
that
you want.
confidence.
Oh,
No,
really?
and I will never shame anybody for. I'm not going to yuck your yum, but it just feels like right from 6 inches and below. God, that sounds weird. I just find that so fucking sexy. Outside of that, they're like, okay, but now I'm going to clap them together and do all the crazy
No,
shit.
Anything, it's got to be anywhere 4 and up.
You know,
Has to
4
And
to
I don't
6
even
is
like 4. 4 means you're a pussy.
yeah.
4,
So how about this?
if you're a woman and
What are
you're-
your thoughts on thigh highs?
love them.
Me too.
Well,
100%.
now those I love. I can get on board with that shit. Okay, and the garter belt.
Yeah,
I
I
that's
gotta
garter
tell you,
belt.
I'm a little bit of a sucker for that old school, or maybe early aughts, the tats that were the bow behind the leg, like kind of
Yeah.
suggestive of garter.
Those
What
are
ab-
those
what
are bad
about-
decision girls.
Yeah.
Exactly. What about gloves?
Oh, like if you're ready to take
Only
it
when
up to
I'm
that notch,
skiing.
hell yeah, dude. Let's go to Germany. Where are the leather gloves?
I love. It's like I love the look of like the S&M chicks, but
Yes.
I don't want anyone pitching my nipples or anything.
Dude, Terry, we are on the same page. I
Yeah.
love all the dominatrix stuff, but I don't want you to beat the fuck out of
The
me. Don't stop
latex
my
gloves?
balls.
No, I just want to call you a couple bad names and make you do what I want you to do.
Yeah,
See,
man.
But you don't like the smoking videos?
Smoking's my big turnoff.
Yeah, I
But
don't.
That's
we-
such a weird one.
We've always talked before about on the Lex and Terry show our theory of women if they put out or not, and we always had the saying: if you smoke, you poke.
Right. Yeah. You're willing to put dirty things in your mouth, that kind of thing,
so,
right?
But there, and I think it's a disgusting habit. But sometimes there's something that it means you're a nasty girl.
But I'm also a kisser and I don't want cigarette kisses.
You don't
Yeah,
need that.
and
Just
if
say
you-
blow me.
If you chew, we threw. No chewing tobacco. Okay.
All right, let's
What?
hear-
How do you feel about the ultimate Zen then? What if they Zen?
Oh, Terry, have you seen this? You don't even know about the Zen thing going on?
I know what it is. I don't know what
Everybody consumes freaking nicotine this way now. Everybody.
Well, everybody vapes first of all, and then if they're not
But
vaping,
when you can't,
they're committing the ultimate Zen.
You
know,
do
I've,
the Zen, man.
I've never smoked anything in my life. Weed,
Crack.
cigarette, none of that.
I grew up in a smoker's house, so I found that really like it was really hard for me to.
Me too.
Yeah, it was awful,
Yeah.
man. Like
I'm sure
I would be
probably
embarrassed getting out of the car at school because I smelled like my dad's pool hall.
We had those popcorn ceilings, you know,
Yeah,
and
they were all
right above where my mom would sit on the couch was a big
Yes.
brown area, you know.
Yeah, man.
Like, oh Jesus.
I love bad
Made it
habits.
buttered.
Well, are you a smoker, Tank?
I smoke weed, but that's it.
Yeah, I'm an edible guy because I don't like smoking. I took in too much smoke on the fire service, man. I love
Actually,
edibles.
I'm smoking less and less these days because I just realized how bad it is for you. You know,
Yeah.
there's no way around it.
Well, thank you for answering that, Terry, because I did have that question because sometimes I feel like an absolute fucking freak, right? But if a woman is wearing high heels, there's just something so
Oh, yeah.
attractive about that confidence.
I love it. And you're like, I would cave.
Oh, yeah.
Went
Oh,
around. If it's somebody, because I've always had to ask the girls I with, hey, you having some high heels today?
Hey,
Yeah.
would you? Wait
But
a minute.
the girls I want to date wear them before they've even met me.
Exactly. And it's their idea to wear them to bed.
Right? Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know you guys are into girls with high heels, but what if she had big shoes like a clown?
No, I would want. I
But
don't
she was
want-
still dressed dirty as fuck, and she just had big clown shoes
Like
on?
that's the one thing that like Ronald McDonald shoes or something.
The one thing, yeah, just like those huge flipper shoes.
So clown shoes don't mean anything.
I would bend the hot clown over. And fucking,
I think I might
That
just
was
for like a list thing. I'm like, yeah, you ever
Just
fucked
to
a girl
say
in
you
clown
did,
shoes.
maybe. I'll try, but I don't
They're
like
like-
clowns.
like snowshoes coming up at you, you know?
Mm-hmm. So I don't know how you guys feel about this, and I know they talk about it on like Your Mom's House podcast and all this because Christina P is getting back into her goth phase. But I have like recently, I don't know if I just missed the train when I was younger or they were scary, but goth girls for me, like I'm weak for that shit.
Yeah, there's certain ones that I think look good, but I just don't like the sad cutty thing. You know,
No, yeah.
I'm more into.
Let's listen to The Cure. Yeah,
I'm more into the confident. I love confident women. I really do.
same.
It's good.
I like the cutters when I didn't have to worry about marrying them, but why does this girl have 1,000 bracelets on her arm? Because it looks like Sergeant Slaughter got her.
Edward Scissorhands.
Well, and I'm
Okay,
50
there's a
years
whole
old,
reference
and
for you.
if you're a 50-year-old goth, man, like it's a scary situation. There's a lot of unresolved shit going on there, right? Because I'm too old to be dating the young goths.
Yeah,
It would be weird.
At some point,
would
it's a
be
little too
older.
much.
Yeah.
Once again, hello to everybody in the stream. We've got people on Twitch. We have people on YouTube and Facebook. If you want to go into the comment section and leave us a comment, we'll try to answer some of your stuff here in a second. But first, we have
Come
an
to your
email.
house.
We got an email from a kid. Okay.
Let's go.
It says, I found you on Twitch, and it didn't take long for me to realize I need guys like you in my life. That's a compliment, don't you think? I like that.
Pretty sure he's talking about
And
you
then it
two, but
says-
okay.
And then it says, I'm 16 and something really embarrassing happened to me and I can use some help. My mom walked in on me when I was watching porn. Yes, I was doing what people do when they watch it. She apologized for walking in, and now it's just weird when I see her. Should I say something, or what should I say if she brings it up?
She's not going to bring it up.
She's not going to bring it up. She's not going to bring it up. And yeah, I've been
What's
busted.
to talk about?
I never got busted by my parents because my parents never talked to me about sex. I've talked to you before about my silk sleeping bag that was my girlfriend forever, and I used to slide up and down the hall like an inchworm in that thing, just humping the hell out of it.
I have something so close to that. Oh my God. I swear to God, we were raised in similar homes. My mommy number 6, my dad's 6th wife, caught me just grinding into the carpet in a Palm Springs condo to Vanna White and the People magazine. It was awful. But yeah, no, she's never going to bring it up, and you should never bring it up either, because that's a natural part of life, man.
Yeah.
Don't be ashamed of it. But
Yeah.
no mom wants to talk about that with her kid. Just like take your time, do your thing, just establish some boundaries.
My parents have never walked in on me, but my wife has.
How was
So
that? How did that go?
she's cool.
Yeah.
She
My
could-
last ex-wife, and I
could have
make it
made
sound like
really uncomfortable, but she didn't.
my, I got super lazy in my last marriage, man, and she's gonna kill me if she ever sees this. She won't. My last ex-wife and I would be so lazy, we'd be like, should we just pleasure ourselves and then call it a night? So I've had that happen.
Yeah, that's fun. I don't mind
Yeah.
like a little sharing.
A little
Taint,
mutual.
you ever been busted, Taint?
Not by my wife, by other girls.
By this dude in the bus stop, but he was weird.
He got me.
Yeah, it was. I did it by the guy in line at McDonald's.
I had to give him my transfer ticket, so that was awful.
Hey, you do
But
what you
I
gotta
made
do.
a friend.
It's
I made a
long
state
road.
trooper friend.
Could have cost you a McNugget or 3. Here's the thing: is I think there are literally 2 types of people in this world, and I bust our video editor all the time because he's a young kid. He's like, I would never do that. I'm like, I'm not going to say his name, but I'm like, look, there are 2 types of people in this world: people who masturbate and people who lie about it. All right, it's just
Yeah.
a natural thing, man.
Yeah, everybody does it.
Yeah.
Here we got a message here from Rick. It says,
Whoa.
would it have been better if his dad caught him? Just let time pass to get over it. That's a great comment there, Rick.
Yeah.
I would think that dad would handle it differently, probably.
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to out my kid on anything, but I was just like, he looked like that. He was like it owed him rent. I walked in one day and he just kind of looked at me like he was fucking steering a wheel loader, and I'm just like, listen, man, like, I
Hey,
mean,
what
this
do you
is
play,
part of
Star
life.
Fox in there?
Yeah, I'm like, this is part of life, but maybe close your fucking door, kid. I love you.
Yeah, I think a dad might have handled it differently by saying, "Hey, dude, what you're doing is okay.
Yeah.
Clean up after yourself." I don't know. I don't know what a dad would say. It's a good thing that I'm not a dad.
Well, I think.
Yeah,
I ju-
you had to freaking do it to a sleeping bag to figure it out. That's not cool. A dad would have really sped up the process.
Yeah, exactly. But my parents never said a word, never talked about sex. And in fact, I really believe they did me a disservice
I agree, 100%.
because of that, because I grew up thinking everything I did was wrong. After up until probably about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, anytime I had alone time, I would feel guilty and I would immediately pray.
Interesting.
Please don't kill me.
Yeah.
I didn't mean it.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
Yeah. That's the truth. That's the absolute truth. I would
Come on.
just pray that I didn't mean to, I don't know what happened and where that came from, but I end up thinking it's like, if I did this, I'm going to hell,
I mean, I'm doing it right now. So
Good.
yeah.
Good.
But my parents were the same kind of way. It's like they never talked about it with me at all. And it's become a joke with me and my son. So I have a 21-year-old and a 19-year-old. And it was just like, we would joke, boys, are you ready for the birds and the bees? And they're like, Dad, come on. We have cell phones. We watch porn. But at least it was just, I wanted to destigmatize it, man, because I don't want them to feel like it's dirty or shameful. Because Terry, you are, let's say 35 years old. If until you were 30, you felt shame for that, that sucks, man.
Oh,
Because-
it was even later than that. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
it
just
was-
trying to be complimentary.
Yeah,
But,
dude.
Well, shame was a
I'm not
big
high
part
grade
of what
anyway.
was. Shame was built into it back in the day. Like even for a while ago, it's just not as shameful any longer. I remember hiding pornos in like water mains in my apartment complex. Like me and neighbor guys, we like, hey, go to 633, and you like open it up, and there'd be a penthouse in there. It was all disgusting.
hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, on the fire service, there was a locker in the locker room at the fire stations that was the porn locker pre-internet. Like that's where they were all stacked up, right? But yet nobody talked about it. And so I think to this the 16-year-old kid or whatever, it's like, hey man, do not feel ashamed. Get a fucking lock on your door.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
buddy Mike Pace used to do a comedy routine about being on stage, and not on stage, but he's on stage and he's talking about how, remember when you're young and you're finding, you're looking through a magazine, it's not as easy as it used to, now it's easier than it used to be. And so you'd be looking in a magazine, you'd get to that page you want, but you realize you're really not there yet. So you're fumbling around and your timing's all wrong. And you actually have your moment looking at the Marlboro Man.
Reading the stereo review in the Playboy magazine.
It's like, oh my God, the Marlboro Man got me. And how bad you feel after that.
Now every time I see a billboard with cigarettes, I come.
There's that. There's that.
I do remember how sensitive the Victoria's Secret pages. If you got any water on that bitch at all, it was like litmus paper. It would just like instantly wrinkle up, and someone would be like, there's some seediness going on here in the swimsuit edition.
There you go.
I stole my mom.
Oh, Indiana 8 says something.
Yeah.
Real quick before you get to that question, I will tell you this. I learned this recently in the fire service. We have a mall here in Springfield because, of course, it's Springfield. But outside the Victoria's Secret, they took all of the seating away from that because there were just dirty old men that would sit out in front in the seating, you know, kind of like those chairs
Oh
in
yeah,
the
to
middle of
look
the mall.
inside.
Mm-hmm. Victoria's Secret was like, you need to get rid of this
That's
shit.
hilarious. I was with comedian Bruce Baum at the mall one time, and we had a show in Vegas. So what else do? You watch the headliner spend money. So I was walking around with Bruce, and we walked into a Victoria's Secret, and the lady behind the counter goes, can I help you? And Bruce goes, no, I'm just sniffing.
Oh shit. She hit a button underneath the table.
It was classic. It was classic. All right, let's help Indy out here. It says on the chat room, Indy is on
Sorry for joining your
Twitch.
show.
On Twitch. Sorry for accidentally joining your show. No, you're welcome. You're welcome, Indy. It says, what did that say? I lost
3.5-year-old.
I have a 3.5-year-old. What age do I need to talk to him about this?
Later than 3.5, man.
Yes. I would imagine, and I think it's different for every kid. Depends who his friends are, depends what he's been exposed to and all that stuff. But I do
It's
think
usually around puberty.
yeah, but I do think you need to, if you're talking specifically about alone time, I think you just need to really let him know that it's okay.
Yeah.
It's
no
really
shame on him.
okay. And I think your kid would appreciate that, you know. And not only that, they would probably go to you for further advice on stuff if you open the door as far as that goes. That's just me thinking.
When my kid was like 2, I walked in and we had one of those things in the bathtub that like protected them from bashing their heads in the downspout. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking? So it was a little
Yeah, I
duck.
got one of those.
It was a little ducky. And I walk in and he is furiously humping this duck. Okay. He's like, and he looks at me and he does one of these.
What's up, Dad?
So,
Oh, he looks at you.
yeah. I'm
He
like,
nods to
this
you
is
while
so
he's
fucking
doing-
disturbing, man. Like, what the fuck? But
Me and
I
Ducky
couldn't
got
shame
it.
him at that point, right? He's 2 years old. So we
Yeah,
just sort of had to like work it out where, okay, well, if you want to fuck the duck, like maybe hold off a little bit.
I remember we had this discussion one time on the Lex and Terry show, and then we had some sort of expert on. And this is when Ian was working there, and Ian brought up the subject, and the expert said something that I think I've always read true. He says, when you're young, it's not sexual.
No,
It is
it's
just
instinct.
it's just about sensation and what
Mhm.
feels different and what feels weird. So it's not a thing, you know. And so just be careful. Indy, I hope that works out for you. I hope that helps a little bit. But we're all
Yeah,
guys.
your
that have been
dog is
busted.
not trying to impregnate the teddy bear. It just feels good.
Exactly. And
Or dominant.
Tate, people are saying you got to worry because you have a daughter. So this is going to be tough. for
Yeah,
you.
I think about it all the time because I'm scared of the fucking world. It's going to end up. You don't have to worry about the pole anymore because the pole can be brought into your daughter's home now.
Oh yes, absolutely.
She just stays at home and drives a Lamborghini and shit.
All right, so we got another couple topics before we get out of here for tonight. It says this one actually was something you wanted to talk about, Tank, about shoes.
Yeah. Uli, maybe you have ever had this happen, but like certain times in my life, my mom has bought a pair of shoes or I bought a pair of shoes for myself, and it makes you feel cool or almost superhuman if they're athletic shoes. Have you ever bought, you guys go first, if you've ever had that feeling of
Well,
like, oh, these are my magic shoes.
Yeah, I just know that when you first get them, you just feel like you could run faster and jump higher, like the old commercials.
I remember
It
thinking,
really feels that way.
yeah, especially when they let you put both on at the same time. They're like, "Oh, walk up and down here," and you feel like you're fucking Flash Gordon for a half second. You're like, "Hell yeah, hell yeah!"
When I
And it
played,
makes that really good squeaky sound.
Oh, the perfect squeaky sound.
when I played college basketball, they would give you shoes, and I was the only guy that would try to hang on to it, keep his shoes the newest for the longest.
Oh,
You
you
would
know
wipe
those
them
guys
off after
scrubbing
the
them
game?
clean after
Oh,
all that.
scrubbed them clean. I would repaint the stripes on them to make them match the whole thing. I almost feel like
that's
Liberace
bad.
or something as a kid, as a basketball player or something.
I didn't have a
Take the
candelabra.
litter
I
on
had some
them.
Air Jordans.
Yes, these were Adidas superstars.
Oh man, I had one of the original Air Jordans. They were in red and black and blue and
Had those
black.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, but the real rich kids had K-Swiss. Those were the Montecito kids. Like that was the big money shoes.
The
But yeah, man,
Montecito-
I went to the shoe store where they like you put your foot in that weird measuring thing.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
took that shit seriously. Like
That
the
silver
shoe
one.
guy.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like, oh yes, we're gonna match you up. No, instead now it's just I order them online. Size
Yeah.
and
I
they-
think I'm this number, and you pull it off the shelf. But yeah, no,
yes,
Tate,
used
you're
to-
100% right, man. Like you felt like $1 million. And the big thing was like when he's like, "Do you want to wear them out of the store?" And he would put your old shoes.
Absolutely, you wear them out of the store.
Fuck
You
yeah,
sit
you're going
and
to Baskin
smell 'em.
Robbins after that shit.
You go home and you smell them.
Oh yeah.
I
And
smell
you
'em that
don't
way.
quite know how you want to wear the tongues yet, but you're like, okay, I'll just leave a little puffy right now, and then I'll fit it
How
out.
how loose do you want them ties, right?
You don't quite know yet, right?
We are solving the world's problems today, aren't we?
Yeah, for 80s tennis shoe wearers, yeah, man.
No, I think what I like about it is that like even a person who has like very little, they can go to Payless. They get it for. I think you get the same sensation out of a pair of Gucci shoes or like the Shaquille O'Neal shoes.
Oh yeah,
You
just
get the,
new
like,
is new.
I
like
got
new
new
money.
wheels.
I bought a house just because it was new. There were better homes,
Yeah.
cheaper homes, but I wanted the new one.
I've kind of struggled with this as we get older because I was a Vans kid growing up, and lace ups only, no slide-ons, no checks, right?
Yeah.
And I was a BMX kid, and the last 2 or 3 pairs of Vans I bought have just fucking aged me. I'm like, God damn, my feet hurt. Like I cannot
Yeah,
handle
I
that
quit wearing
flatness
them.
anymore, man.
I think there's a certain age you get to, and I hate being that guy. I don't want to be. I want to still say, hey, you dress, you do you. Whatever makes you feel good, you get out there and rock it if you want. I don't care if you
Mhm.
got purple hair, whatever you want to do it. Face tattoos, whatever you want. But there's this part of me when I look at somebody and go, you're not wearing that well. This doesn't
no.
age you well.
It feels like you're talking to me, and you're not wrong. I'm into the Skechers, even Crocs mode. But if I am over here hoping that women wear high heels and I'm not willing to suffer a little bit, I feel like a bit of a fucking hypocrite. You saw that picture I sent you, Terry, of my St. Patrick's Day outfit with
Yeah, that was great.
the white vinyl shoes that says that I don't know my own dad,
Yeah.
the Clark's specials.
It was
Those were
her-
killing my feet at the radio station all day. But I'm like, if I expect you amazing ladies to wear high heels, I got to suffer a little too.
I admitted you committed to your outfit. That's something.
Always do.
That's something Taint does here too.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
Well, anybody have any questions? Let's go back to this one. Where
There
was
was
it?
a boner comment.
Yeah, Indy was back again. Indy, true. It was super awkward when he was one. Was it
When he was an I, and yeah.
one got a boner? That one. Yeah, that's got to be weird. I know that my one of our friends, she has a baby that is, I think he's like maybe 2 now or going on 2, and maybe just a little over. But she pulled me aside. She was out helping me look at homes, and she goes, "My baby had a heart on. It's the first time. It was just so weird."
Seems like such a weird non sequitur to open the conversation.
Yeah, but she told me. It was
Do
like,
you like this
"Okay."
home? My kid had a boner.
I didn't know what to say. Not as much as your kid liked it.
Hey,
but it's one of those things.
This townhouse makes my kids sport.
Oh my God.
You got to get this place.
This is
have
the
never
one.
been
It's like
lower.
it's this little divining rod. This one, Terry. This one.
That's it.
As a
Well,
realtor, I use my child's arousal to tell you how great this house is.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining. Let's see if this thing works here. And don't hang up.
The late night radio show.
Lower the volume.
Tune into the midnight zoo.
All right.
The late night radio show.
Thanks for everybody for joining right now. Please share it, do all that stuff while we figure out what's going on. There's going to be a lot more to this. We're still kind of the phase of getting this thing down. Great subjects, great guests we have planned, and streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. We're shooting for Tuesday, Thursdays. So we all have things. And going to Jordan here in the next couple of weeks. That ain't gonna. You're not gonna be able to do anything.
You're going to Jordan?
Going to Jordan.
Not Air Jordan, but Jordan.
Jordan.
I'm joining the Royal Jordanian Navy.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Well,
We've always said you would.
Uli, if you want
And I'm finally doing it.
if you want to do this while he's gone, you're more than welcome to, Uli.
Hey, man, thanks for letting me join the team.
You know, it's good. It's a lot of fun. And guys, have a great night. And thanks for listening. And do not hang up when we hang up. You have to let this thing say it's downloaded 100% before it. Anyway, that kind of ruins it when you have to tell people live.
Right,
Doesn't it?
yeah.
It wouldn't be nice just to sign off and that look like it was something cool.
It kind of that's the equivalent of being like, there's a rag over there and some water.
Watch up.
Do you want me to put it under warm water?
Exactly. That's next week's subject, right? The warm
Yeah,
water or no?
absolutely.
I called you an Uber.
All right, guys, we will talk to you a little bit later. And let me end this. Let me see if this works. There you go. Let this thing download.